Hey everyone, today I am joined by none other than Bynx Plays. Bynx, how you doing today, my friend?
So good, man. So excited to be finally jumping in and doing some collaborations with my guy Alex Coccia.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm so excited because we got a tournament coming up this weekend, and so we're actually live on Twitch right now in front of an absolutely wonderful audience. And Bynx and I we're testing a whole bunch of different kind of decks, and we're thinking about bringing Silver Surfer this tournament. Now, one thing's worth noting is that at the tournament there's going to be a ban on Leech, Thanos, Shang-Chi, She-Hulk, Shuri, Sarah, Moon Girl, and Electro. So those cards are out. So we're playing Silver Surfer without Sarah, which has to give us a little more creativity. Now we got two lists. Bynx, talk us through this list and why you are a huge believer in this absolute beauty.
Yeah, so this first list we got kind of more of like a classic game plan. We did want to fit in a one drop because we are running the Sarah list, so we slided Iceman in. We're running this Daredevil and Negasonic Teenage Warhead combo, which is just absolutely destructive against any deck that's trying to play a big card on turn 5. So we're going to be trying to fight for priority with this list. Why Maria Hill is so good, especially in Surfer decks. First of all, I'm a huge Maria Hill. For months, I've been talking about how this is one of the most underrated cards in SAP. But Maria Hill specifically in the Silver Surfer archetype is very good because you have all these 3-drops, right? And you want to fill your curve as best as possible. So if you end up playing Maria Hill on 2, you get a 1 cost card in your hand. You get to play a 3-drop on 3, and then with the 3-drop that you usually want to be playing on 4, if we don't have the Iceman or we already played it, we have that 1-drop from Maria Hill. So we get a full curve to get completely filled. In the 3-drop slot, we have the Storm Juggernaut combo, absolutely destructive on turns 3 into turn 4, but also Juggernaut, just a powerhouse card that's also very underrated right now. Groot is going to fit in really, really well with our Daredevil to be able to get +2 and kind of get a guarantee if we do end up playing that on turn 5. We have the Polaris and the Maximus, just our big 2 power cards. And then because we need priority to do our Daredevil Negasonic combo, Mr. Fantastic is a wonderful, wonderful choice to attack all 3 lanes and try and guarantee us priority going into that turn 5. So we can guarantee a hit on whatever giant monster they try and throw at us.
And I think that the key thing is with Daredevil, I think Negasonic, which goes through Cosmo, right, which I think is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. Not so much in a tournament scenario, but on the ladder, I think this is insane. And naturally, of course, with Groot getting that additional kind of impact, but also Groot on turn 6, you can kind of reliably guess where people are going to play on turn 6, I feel like. So I think it does kind of shine there. And I'm glad, it's funny, me and you, we've been Maria Hill believers for some time. I cried with the Quinjet nerf, but in Surfer, I still think she has a role to play. So I'm super excited. Now, this is deck number 1. And Bynx, we actually, on Twitch here, we actually created a second deck list. And so this one's a little different. We do have the Devil Negasonic play, but we're using the Killmonger Nova package as well. Now, talk to me about why you think that like Lizard, especially on turn 5, is an excellent play.
Yeah, we were looking at a couple of options. I think we can also still be considering Goose in both of these, and that might be something that we end up talking through a little bit because Goose is just a great 2-drop, especially when we're not running Sarah because Goose doesn't affect us at all and can pretty have a big impact on our opponents. What we were looking at was both Scorpion and Lizard. And with Daredevil in this deck, Daredevil is something that we want to be playing on 2 very frequently because getting that information on turn 5 is great. And if we're going to be playing a 3-drop and a 2-drop on turn 5, if that Scorpion, let's say we have Daredevil and Scorpion on turn 2, we're almost always going to be wanting to like compete against each other over who plays. Whereas if we have Lizard and Daredevil, Lizard we're totally fine with keeping until turn 5 to play. Sometimes it's even better to hold on to that Lizard because you can attack a lane where your opponent maybe only has 1 card. You know that they're not going to fill it. You'll get that full 5 power. So we kind of made the choice for Lizard. Also getting priority going into turn 5, and for that Daredevil into Negasonic Teenage Warhead combo is, again, a really big priority for us in our game plan that we're going to be having. So getting priority for it, especially, even with things like Juggernaut, with Polaris, all of our cards, we kind of want to have initiative on that turn 5. So Lizard, if we do end up playing it early on or have to slot it in early on, is another really good priority card.
It's so funny because you're giving this impassioned speech about, how this deck works, and like text to speech is happening in the background on Twitch. It's like they basically demanding that we add M'Baku to this list via text to speech. I don't think you heard it, but it was so funny. But at the end of the day, I think we got 2 really interesting decks here, and I'm I actually am interested in Goose. Now, my thing with Goose is perhaps we're going to see less Goose with the Shuri nerfs, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens. But either way, we're going to be playing both these decks live on Twitch, and we're going to be doing it in fantastic fashion as we kind of rotate between the two and experiment a little bit. But before we do that, be sure you guys check out the comments and the description where I'm going to have Bynx's Twitch and YouTube linked, and I do suggest you guys check them out. Some of the most fantastic content out there. Let's get started. So I think we go Nova mid here.
Easy plays.
Okay, I love seeing this. Now, if they don't follow up the armor, which they just might, we have the opportunity here to Killmonger the Sunspot, which is beautiful. Now, because of this Sunspot, I lean towards Storm mid because I don't want them to follow up with armor if he hasn't drawn it yet.
All right. So we want to storm mid right away. It's a bit of a liability storming a Sunspot lane, but we do have Maximus as a follow-up. We already have Surfer in hand, and we can Polaris at any point.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Even if they do armor it, we can Polaris. We can Polaris on turn 4,
and it is armor.
Whichever one we get works out.
We've been playing too much of this game. We're like predicting the turns over and over again. So you know what? Maybe we just Maximus straight up. I think it's probably much safer.
And you're totally right. We can play this Lizard on turn 5. I think that we'll end up getting more value out of it by playing it this way.
Okay, we don't worry. We don't care too much about that Polaris, honestly.
It's a bit annoying, but being able to pull off their cards and knowing we have Surfer in our back pocket, I think it's gonna be good. Ooh, we have to play it right, because otherwise we could hit the ninja. I think we're forced to play it right. We don't really have a choice.
I had this moment of like, what?
And the Atlantis can be really annoying, and then like they can have a really hard time, like because if we pull our Polaris and like let's say we pull their armor, then they have 8 power, we have 10, then they have to invest like 7 more power to even just tie us up. I
kind of wanted that armor naturally, but whatever. Because that armor allows her.
I'm snapping here.
Yeah?
I'm snapping here all day. Yeah.
I feel like we're in a situation here where we can probably Mr. Fantastic, and we're probably giving up Atlantis, right? We dropping 1 card there? We can't...
I'm throwing Lizard over there, dude. They have to put so much work in to beat that Lizard
100%.
Because, like I said, their Cosmo is only 3 compared to our 10, so they have to invest 7 extra power just to tie us up there. And even if they take it, that's fine. We're gonna win, right? We're gonna get the Surfer. We're gonna have the Negasonic there. We'll be ahead middle, which is really nice.
Vision's pretty clutch. I respect the Vision play, but it's very Vision himself. Like Atlantis is very awkward for them.
Okay, if you're the opponent, so let's think about this from our opponent's end. How are they going to try and win?
Well, they probably have to move Vision, right? If they move Vision mid, I think they probably move Vision mid, potentially play left. If they play left, Negasonic trades there because if they play here, but if 5-9, still a 9, so this will remain 9. We still trade. So Negasonic left does beat Cosmo if they do not play here. If they do play here, it trades with Cosmo, whatever they play there, leaving Lizard as a solo 10. And then we can just Silver Surfer here, which procs 2 here, 2 here, and adds power here. I feel like this is hard. A decent line.
It's a coin flip, but I totally agree. I think they're always moving that Vision middle, and I think that they would attack left. I think they'll see these 2 cards right and think, oh man, maybe their next big card, maybe the Groot or something is coming right with the 2-drop. I love your exact play. Negasonic left, Surfer right. I think that's going to be our best chance. Now we do lose it. They go Vision middle, big card right. But if I was the opponent, I think I'm attacking that Atlantis lane. So I think we go for that level of what we think they're going to play.
We go. Vision mid, attack left.
Oh, come on. Hopefully the big one's...
Yes! Oh, yes, let's go!
What a play!
Oh my gosh, that was such a good win.
That was so good. I'm so happy you found that line because I was thinking that exact line too. And I think that was just always the play, man. Because they can't even go in the other order, right? They can't Titania Red Skull, otherwise they send us the Titania. So their only play if they're attacking left is to play their big card first and then Titania. And we get over the top because the Negasonic brings the Lizard back.
That was such a good game. Okay, this is kind of sus. I'm all for Iceman. Oh, but we Iceman Mindscape our own cards. So annoying. Gotta get rid of this Mindscape. I'm leaning towards Iceman into Sinister London. Just
Pew
pumping
pew,
the
baby.
hand.
Pew pew.
Just pew pew? Okay.
Yeah, we're thinking Maximus is great left. Polaris might be really good left too. The problem with Polaris left is it's sometimes a liability where it pulls one of their Sinister London cards off, giving them another trigger of it. Yeah. But we can always storm Mindscape.
Yeah, I think we go Maximus here. Now, unfortunately, this is feeling a little. And every time I see that Wolverine, I'm like, oh, it's we got some Galactus gameplay, I guess.
We have Polaris, right? We have they're playing into Sinister London twice. There's no way they're Galactus or they're bad. One of the two.
It's extremely inebriated. Yeah. This is okay. This is no longer a Galactus deck. Or they just ruined their Galactus deck. What are your thoughts on Groot left? We have to leave one proc Sinister London for Silver Surfer, right?
I kind of like a 2/2 here. I kind of like Daredevil Maria Hill.
Yeah, really?
Is this a 3/1 for next turn?
Onto Nova Roma, keep the space open.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't pull Storm though, we might be in a situation where we have to play the Silver Surfer out next turn, right?
Yeah, and then we just play the Maria Hill card with the Surfer. Or maybe so is that why you want to maybe get a 3? Just slam a 3 drop out now. And
kind of, but I'm not against this.
Without like Polaris and stuff, sometimes it's pretty good to know what's going on next turn. Maybe you're right though. I have it in my mind that we're always playing Storm, but you're right. We have what a 1 and 3. I think that getting the 3. I think the Polaris out is right, and then just playing the Silver Surfer left, and then just being like beat all these points, punk.
Yeah, I mean, as we move into the later stages of the game, I fail to like confidently. Yeah, this hurts a little bit.
Yeah, if we had pulled that right Wolverine, it was a 1 and 4. That would have been really, really nice. I don't think we want to give them Maria Hill, so I think we're just Daredeviling right and then Surfer. But I mean, there's also really good. Like if they snap, I think we just leave, right? But,
yeah, because with we will not get. Well, actually, to be honest with you, he has to play his card now. We get his Taskmaster, right? But it's going to be something huge, right? I think we do this. If he snaps, we leave, but...
Yeah, it's probably that turn 6 Galactus deck, right? With the... whatever else it runs. So if this lands...
Oh!
Get destroyed!
Oh! That's not what I expected.
nice Hobgoblin.
And it is Galactus.
Yo,
we have Turn Initiative and Negasonic.
I think if we dump it, I mean, they're gone, right? There's no way they think that they could be 18 middle. That's the only way they win.
There's also the argument that I can Deathlock left.
And then we just win it?
If we Deathlock right, it gaps. We're not going to snap because I don't want them to leave.
Yeah, no Boomer snaps here.
No Boomer snap. Deathlock actually trades Nova Roma, by the way.
That's crazy. Well, but yeah, it wins it.
I want them to play this out. Like, they should play in a Nova Roma, not allowing this to happen, but... Yeah, they're gone. That's insane. What a wild game. I feel like they kind of misplayed it, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like that is such a risky play playing that Hobgoblin there. I mean, they probably had the Nimrod, right? Just play a 20 power Nimrod, dude.
All right, we got Maria Hill here. Maria Hill into the dark location.
You're a big lane 3 believer, huh?
Yeah, I knew Viper was coming. I respect it. Throwing a junk deck out there. Death Domain, that helps us.
I mean, immediately paid off, right? Yeah. Now, opponent could absolutely be planning to just Professor X that Death Domain and then be doing Hazmat Luke Cage stuff. So we have to be really aware of that because there's a chance that on turn 5, look at our double Iceman, dude. Look at these boys. Look at our icy boys.
Pretty cool, yeah, I like it. I think we Maximus mid probably. No,
seems like the best play.
Actually, no, with Mirror Dimension, we might have to put some pressure on, because Mirror Dimension's the Death Domain. Yeah, we probably have to do this.
I like that. I think that's a heads-up play.
Their own Daredevil.
And we're tied there with a Surfer deck.
And it's Death Domain.
And we have, I think we're snapping here with Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah? Okay. Mm-hmm. It makes Juggernaut awkward to play.
So, dude, what we're going to do next turn, this is going to be awesome. We're going to play Mr. Fantastic this turn. We save both Icemen, and then we play an Iceman left and an Iceman right so they can't Professor X us in either location.
That is literally the most 5-head gameplay I've ever heard in my life.
Well, maybe with Mr. Fantastic they can't even do it, but isn't that awesome? They'll just be looking at it like, oh, what do we do? I guess if we have priority, actually no, we're gonna get priority, so it won't work. But with the Mr. Fantastic, I don't even think they can do it anyway, right?
They go double card. They actually pull. Okay, the Maria Hill pull with the Polaris is actually really interesting here.
Maybe just Professor or Polaris middle this turn, and then what they'll probably. They might Professor X left to block it, but then we just Silver Surfer and profit.
At the same time, they have 6 in hand. Just pumping these 2 Icemen for the effect might be worth it. Like, what are we playing next turn? It's not the Icemen. It's going to be.
That's actually a really good point. I think just pumping the 2 Icemen is absolutely the right play. Yeah, just screwing over their hand.
Yeah, just pump their hand a bit.
Pew. They might also not know how Professor X works and mess it up too. But I'm going to guess it's a Professor X, right?
So this is, I imagine this is going to be Professor X.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me for sure. But they only have 1 card to play, right? So they're in a bit of trouble. I mean, they could do Luke Cage middle into like a Hazmat into Death Domain and be okay with it. We could also be looking at Juggernaut right or Juggernaut middle.
Groot mid into Silver Surfer feels really strong.
Okay, so we're adding 12. 12 guaranteed pretty much because they're almost always going to play middle.
Yeah, so 6 plus the 6, so it's 12. Yeah, it's 12.
Is that enough? Spider-Woman beats us.
True.
That's the big thing I'm scared of. I think it is Juggernaut then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Juggernaut
we'll see because like part of me wants to throw this Groot down. This is what I was talking about before, where like Groot has like these kind of like nearly guaranteed procs at the late stages of the game, but I do think this is by far the safest. Provided they don't actually trade out this Death Domain, but we are adding +2 to the Maximus.
Yeah, I think Spider-Woman still gets us though is the biggest problem because the Spider-Woman would go to the left, they'd be at 10. We'd win middle by like 1, but yeah, guess we see.
Is this Mojo? It is Spider-Woman. Excellent call.
Yeah, it's tough. We just didn't have a way to beat this, unfortunately. We could really wish that we did, but. Just didn't.
Yeah, by 1 point. That's a tight game. It's a good game, honestly.
We had priority there.
We Negasonic.
Yeah, the Negasonic would be enough to take it.
That's a great game, though. Like, I'm all about losing those games. That was a good one. Oh, Fist Tower Jug.
Jug and Polaris. We can just Polaris this Goose right now, honestly.
But
I would snap into it.
But Goose doesn't even bother us. We can just do it, though.
I mean, might as well, right? Just max tempo.
Just for the emotional
I love
damage.
Tempo.
Polaris is dragging this Goose over. Get wrecked. Fist Tower snipe. Polaris in the Fist Tower feels so nice. Oh, they Mr. Fantastic. I feel like we can storm left. Titan does not give us any advantage. I feel like if we storm left, we can brood it. We can even jug it. But I like the idea of jug turn 6. But jug turn 6 knocking into the flooded location can often be risky. Sets up the Wong.
Yeah, maybe we're juggernauting
turn 6 from that Wong.
If we can get priority. If we can get priority, yeah. So I would say brooding left into Nova.
Actually,
Nova
brooding Xandar is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, and that actually gives us a really good chance of having priority. The problem is that this makes us a little weak on the flooded location if they go for it. But if we're gonna Juggernaut Surfer, right? Like if they're trying to play on playing Doom, which would be most likely. I mean, they could play a White Tiger here, which is a bit scary for losing priority. Yeah. If they play Tiger, we always lose priority pretty much, unless it goes in the same location twice. I guess it's a 50% chance. Brood and Xandar is really good. We can also look at Skillmongering next turn, depending on what they play.
I like your read on playing the Brood into the Nova here, and then we follow Juggernaut Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It's really hard for us to lose left and right then.
They do go. So we would have probably maintained priority with the Xandar play, and it's Sarah. It's a Sarah play here. And we do have initiative. We've already snapped.
If anything lands middle, though, from
we
the
just
Juggernaut,
anyway.
we just lose middle, right? So I like this. I think I don't think that we need to overthink it. The lizard never goes off. Always winning right. Very hard for them to win left. They have to get very lucky with what happens.
Do you know what
They're
though? If
probably
everything
playing
goes left, this does give us the win mid.
Yeah.
Because like really, like with Juggernaut, like there's no way they play more than 3 cards here.
Yeah,
right?
you're right. No, because this is doubling down, right? Because the only way we're losing less if everything goes left, and then if everything goes left, then we win middle. Unless it's an Ironheart, the Ironheart hits the Mr. Fantastic, then we tie middle, but then we probably win total power. Yeah, I think you're totally right on the silver.
Okay, let's do this.
Boop.
There could have been an it goes mid.
We always have a win then here. I mean,
I think I don't see how they beat us
single
here.
card that would come.
Oh, okay, Hazmat into what? Spectrum. I respect it.
Fun deck.
It's a cool deck. Yeah, I was gonna say I was not expecting a Hazmat Spectrum closer there. That's pretty cool. I'll give him the fist bump. I like that list a lot, actually.